So I'm going to ask a question, and then if anybody would like to contribute an answer. Okay? Are you ready? Yeah, good. Is this music video fit for purpose, and could you see it on a music channel today?
Yes.
So definitely fit for purpose.
I think it is fit for purpose in the sense that it's using a song to tell a story, and the story and the song sit alongside one another, and you can see that there is a narrative between the two and the symbolism between the two. So it strikes me that yes, it is very similar to the sorts of things that you would see on a music TV channel.
Is the narrative clear?
Yes. I thought there was quite a lot going on, as in it was quite a lot of scene changes, but the scene changes were quite similar. So I wondered whether the scene changes could have been slightly different, because they kept going back. I understood like it was because of the narrative, but they kept going back to the house, but maybe something slightly different, whether it was the band playing somewhere else, whether the band featured in the house or the band were playing somewhere else, just so it was a little bit, it was continually changing.
Okay. Does this video fit the said genre that was described at the beginning?
Just remind us on the genre.
Pop punk.
Pop punk.
Rock.
Oh, I'm not sure it did. I mean, I'm a man of the 70s, so I can remember punk in its heyday. And I thought that the music sequence and the conduct of the band was fairly tame compared to punk, as I understand it.
But then it's like the new punk
It's like,
Well,
nowadays.
that's the whole, the pop bit's been kind of inclined to it, so it's more, I don't know.
Fusion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of
because actually when you
fusion,
think of like those sort of bands, they do quite often have scenes like parties and things like that going on. So I thought that
So
that fitted.
It's less about rebelling against, like, the, what...
No, I felt there was
More
the
about-
energy of punk, and you could feel the vibrancy. I thought possibly the look of the band was a bit tame.
Maybe a bit more like rock and roll than punk. I was
Yeah.
expecting punk like traditional punk.
Yeah,
When I heard you say that.
then it's got the pop aspect to it, so that's kind of...
See, I was thinking like
Blink-182.
Those kind
And those
of-
American
Yeah.
sort of
That
bands,
kind
yeah,
of
it did
pop
fit
punk.
with that.
Yeah.
Who do you think the target audience is?
Now, I thought this was really interesting because I had lots of things that was going through my mind, but I thought there was an interesting juxtaposition between the vulnerability of the girl and that she was sort of alienated, and the strength of the female singer in the band. So you had two very distinct female role models, one fairly stereotypical and one challenging that, not least because it was pop punk, which tends to be quite, well, punk tends to be quite male dominated, and yet the key figure in the band was a woman, and yet the sort of rejected person was a woman. So I thought that was a really interesting play on those two different roles.
But teenagers, I put down.
Yeah,
teenagers,
13
young
plus.
adults.
Happy?
Well, just going back, I thought that there was also a really interesting irony about the sort of energy and anger and rejection. If you think that punk grew out of rejection, and yet rejection was the passport that allowed the girl in, because it was the two boys having a scuffle, and her way in was to try and sort of reduce the tensions, yet the purpose of punk is that it rises tension. So I thought there was a really interesting irony there as well.
Lovely. Very good. Which sequences in the video worked best and why, and we'll also do if there any needed improvements, so do that as one.
I really like the scenes when the Facebook bits came
Yeah,
up. I thought that was
that's my
really nice.
Could have maybe been a second or two longer
Yeah, that's
to
what I
read
mean.
them.
To read them.
Yeah, because I didn't think you could read the messages
Mm.
clearly enough. That's the only thing I wrote down.
Yeah, but did you need to read the messages because you knew that, given the sorts of things that we know about social media and criticisms and bitching that goes on, you almost didn't need to see.
It would have been nice
To-
what it said about particular characters, because there were the different Facebook feeds with different photos on. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
related to different characters, wasn't it? So it might have different opinions for different characters. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.